There's been a plethora of African Americans that have definitely influenced my life, but I would say as a young black African American woman, I would say that Madam C.J. Walker definitely influenced my want to be an entrepreneur and start a business on my own. So she was very influential in my life.
Go back and meet African Americans who may have gone underappreciated, or someone you just really, really would want to meet and thank them for their contribution. Who would it be?
This may seem very cliche, but definitely Martin Luther King. I think his tenacity and his drive, and back in those times when it was so difficult to be a black African American, I think I would want to tell him thank you so much for all of your hard work, your sacrifice, time that wasn't spent with your family, to definitely thank him for just his everyday work. So I would definitely thank Martin Luther King.
I feel that African Americans of our generation place the same value on Black History and Black History Month like it was like people did when it first came about.
It's definitely, in my opinion, it's underappreciated because we aren't the generation that actually went through all of the problems.
Right.
We don't know much about it. In school, they don't teach us about all of the contributions that were made by the people that fought for our rights back in those days, and versus the older generation. They lived it. That was their daily work. That's what they did. That's what they fought against. They were in the whites-only bathrooms. They were, black-only bathrooms versus white-only bathrooms. They were there in those times where we weren't. So I think we we underappreciate the sacrifice that they made for us.
Older African Americans and even us, what do you think we can do to get people, to take pride again in Black History Month and appreciate it more?
Say perhaps it takes the will to want to learn. So I think the younger generation go talk to your grandmother, go talk to your grandfathers, go back to those times, ask them how it was back then. What did you fight for? How was it for you in those times? And maybe we'll start to understand their trials and tribulations that they went through, and that'll make us come together more as a people, because I think we tend to disrespect, especially in the black race, we tend to disrespect each other. And if we went back to those times where we had to come together to survive, I think that we would definitely move up levels. Ending too, because now you got rappers we look up to, you got basketball players, and it's how did they get there? Right. So how were they successful? So I think that's something that we need to revisit.
What is it like growing up as a young African American female in today's society?
I didn't face this until recently. I started at a corporate job where I'm a 25-year-old black woman, and I'm in a predominantly Caucasian setting. And so I constantly, being young and being black, I constantly have to prove myself, think about ways to wear my hair. Is it straight enough? Is it too big? Is it too ethnic? And I get that all the time. Oh, it's so nice, or oh, you look so nice. But then when it's time to bring them to a meeting and actually talk about things about the corporation, it's kind of, they talk about you behind your back. So I've experienced that lately. I think my way of dealing with that is to just take pride in myself, take pride in my heritage, and get to the level to where I can take their job, and not even have to worry about how I look or how I'm represented. I know that I'm representing my heritage and my culture very positively, and so I try to keep a positive mind. But it's definitely a challenge. I think it's a lot better because my mom, she didn't have the certain privileges that I have. I can apply to an Ivy League university and possibly get in, So I just think that times are different, but I refuse to let it set me back to where generations ago they were underutilized. So I think it's better, but it's still a work in progress.